What's up, bagheads? It's your boy, BaggiBoi, and I nearly drowned on vacation. Don't click off yet. I swear, I have 3 embarrassing yet entertaining stories for you, so be sure to stick around. And smack that subscribe button. In early February of 2016 probably, we flew all the way down to the Caribbean to a nice resort. It had a water park, ocean frontage, and a bunch of pools. Standard vacation material. It was around the 4th or 5th day at the resort when 3 events conspired to make it the worst day imaginable. While my parents were off by the ocean, they signed us up for a kids club, a safe, supervised place you could drop your kids off free of charge at any time of day. The kids club had youth leaders to watch over the kids, multilingual, trained lifeguards to make sure nobody died. The youth leaders would host hourly events for the kids, harmless, innocent games such as volleyball, foursquare, and putting a helium-filled balloon under your butt as you cannonball into the pool to see which ones break. Just some activity to keep the kids entertained as their parents hung out in the spas. I was manned with the task of entertaining my then 5-year-old brother, and one of my responsibilities was making sure he didn't drown. Foreshadowing. One of the activities planned for that day included 5 bubble machines, 2 boomboxes, and around 40 kids. Or, in my opinion, what I'd like to call a recipe for disaster. My brother and I got in the pool, and along with all the other kids, waited for the party to get started. The trouble began almost immediately. One of the bubble machines was leaking liquid soap, and none of the kids could hear the youth leaders over the loud music. After that, though, everything seemed to be going smoothly. Not to brag, but I'm a pretty good swimmer, so I navigated the bubbles fairly easily. I also like to open my eyes underwater, and could hold my breath fairly long. One of my favorite activities to do when I go to a pool is to just lie down at the bottom and stare. Something about it is just so alluring. Like I'm becoming one with the universe. Like I'm astral projecting out of my physical form and into the galaxies above. After staring up from the bottom of the pool like the introvert I am for a good minute, I swam up to catch my breath, which I barely managed because the bubbles were at least a foot high. Just barely passing for 5 feet at the time, I was only able to keep myself afloat due to my superior water treading skills. When I blocked out the background noise, it was actually quite peaceful. And then, over the music, I heard screaming, splashing, and then the sound of someone diving into the shallow pool. As it turns out, my brother, who was barely up to my ribs in height, was drowning under the bubbles. I was only able to see the tail end of it as he threw up more pool water than I thought possible, but according to my brother, this is what went down. He was having a fun time, but then the bubbles started crowding around him. Given his height, he was already standing on his toes to keep his head above water. So as bubbles overtook his nose and mouth, he instantly went into a frantic panic. He started splashing and flailing his arms, swallowing water as he screamed. But the music was too loud, and nobody heard him. The youth leaders and lifeguards couldn't see him under the foamy mass. But my mom, unmistakably hearing the cries of her youngest, leaped into action and rescued my brother. You'd think I'd be more on edge, more careful, maybe more aware of my surroundings after that incident, right? Nah, gotta get that YouTube AdSense money, bruh. Not even 3 hours later, I took my brother to a small hot tub beside the main pool. Why you need a hot tub in 30-degree weather is beyond reasoning, but that's just me. The already cramped area was packed with kids and elderly alike, so everyone was just trying to touch nobody else. Gotta leave room for Jesus. Given my previous habit of going underwater to avoid confrontation, I thought now would be a better time than ever to take a dip in the deep end. Just to establish this scene, I thought I'd note in real life, I have long hair. In fact, my mom always told me, be careful around vents or it'll rip your hair out and you'll drown. And so, I grew up with a fear of vents. I'd avoid them at all costs, else I might get sucked into the void. This fear was present in my mind even as I began propelling myself to the bottom of the hot tub. And no, my hair didn't snag at first. It was my swim trunks. Oh, how unfortunate. And then, in my attempt to pull myself back up, my head snapped back towards the bottom. So this is how I die. The more I moved my head, the harder it was to get loose. And keep in mind, this is underwater. I was losing air and fast in my panic state. I tried grasping at random people's feet, but nobody came to help. I realized I was alone and nobody knew I was stuck. So I just let go. I stopped reaching, fighting, and just stared up at the sky. But then something happened. My swim trunks unstuck themselves, and that told me I could have kept going. So I did. I struggled and fought some more and managed to break free. Even if I lost a pretty big chunk of hair that day, I specifically remember gasping for air at the surface, scurrying out of that cursed hot tub, and saying to my poor mother, "Mom, I nearly died! Weren't you watching?"
Oh, no. Are you hurt?
Nah, I'm good. It was now getting later in the day, around dinner time to be exact, so we ended up going to one of the many serve-yourself restaurants on the site. We stood in line, got our meals at the buffet, and chose a table. So far, I'd witnessed a drowning and survived a drowning. Nothing else could possibly go wrong, right? That is, until I got thirsty. Now, my mom's trilingual. She knows 3 languages, English, French, and Spanish. She would regularly hold conversations with the locals and was starting to teach me Spanish. When I started my walk to the canteen, I noticed the server was speaking fluent Spanish. And like the all-around human disaster that I am, I walked up to this poor hotel server and said, "Hola, señor. Pido obtener un poco de leche, por favor."
Pardon me?
Leche, por favor?
I'm sorry. I don't understand.
Well, you're on your own now, partner. Leche, señor.
You speak English.
Sometimes. At this point, I was just scrambling for words I learned from watching Dora and Diego. Agua o leche, por favor?
Agua o leche? ¿Cuál?
What? Sí! I speed walked all the way back to my table, sat down to my family, and explained the situation. I ended up getting a slushie from a self-serve machine, but I completely avoided that area of the restaurant. When I finished explaining my tale of woe, my mom said to me,
You have to admit, it'll be a great story to tell someday.
"So, moral? Avoid public pools and don't talk to people. Just skip going outside altogether."
Okay. Okay. Pardon me. Agua o leche. Well, wait. I'm gonna Google how to say that. I'm a Mexican who can't speak Spanish. I like how I'm doing this in the recording. Okay, let's.
Agua o leche, ¿cuál?
Agua leche. That's dumb. Agua o leche.
Agua o leche, ¿cuál?
Agua leche quel? Agua leche quel? Agua leche quel? Agua leche. Oh yeah, because it's a question. I'm like listening to the way she's saying it, but like that's a robot. Agua o leche. Quel? Agua o leche. Quel? 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 Quel?
Agua o leche, ¿cuál?
Quel?
Agua o leche.
Quel? 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 I like your scripts. Like the way you wrote it, it's very professional. Like, it's good. It's good. Overconfident. Hola, senor. You thought he was Mexican, or you thought he spoke Spanish. I'm Mexican. But that's you. Okay, that looks like, if you wouldn't mind, I'd love if you left in some bloopers. I love filling my end card with them. Thank you for... Frick, did I blooper enough? I hope I bloopered enough. I bloopered enough. I hope so. I think I did. Okay, don't forget to. Oh, wait, no. I'm glad I could, help you out with your video, add some lines to you for your video and stuff like that. Sorry it took me so long once again. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that like button. Let's get to likes to like 12 bajillion thousand infinity. And, eat bagels and stay hydrated. Okay, bye. I love you.